One's ready. Go!
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. This is just a quick hitter. Maybe we'll do members only, maybe we won't. I just wanted to talk real quickly. We had a little training event. Now we're going to talk about some stuff first. I always said from the very beginning that I had no desire to do a training event. Why, you may ask, or you may not. My answer was simple, right? I do not need to bring you to a location in America and smoke the living dog crap out of you for any reason. It's a reach back moment. It's great. There are people that are out there doing it. I have zero beef with them doing it. And well, some people that slam knives on tables and say that they're going to cut their own tattoo off if you don't pass. I think I have a problem with that, but that is what it is. I always said, and as One's Ready, when Jared and Trent and I would talk about it, we've been approached a lot of times, having an in-person training event. We just didn't find the right one. And in came Chris Tomez, or Thomas, if you want to call him by that given name, and Guardian Grit. Now, through our large network, we all knew Chris beforehand. Chris is an awesome guy. Chris is an amazing inspirer. He's a motivator. He's a guy that deeply cares about everything that he gets into. He's unapologetically positive, which I give him crap about all the time because I am not of the same ilk as Chris is, at least in that regard. The way that he goes about coaching and training and guiding and mentoring people, and I don't say this lightly, I think it's probably one of the most righteous and one of the most virtuous pursuits that I've seen anybody do. I can't speak highly enough of the man. So when Chris came to us with this crazy idea, what if we got together in Vegas and what if we had a completely different course? I was resistant to it immediately. There was no reason to put people in a pool just to show them that I could make them pop, just to show them that I could make them let go of their snorkel. All that other stuff was not really interesting to me. But when Chris came to us, he said, hey, what about this? What if we break it down to the bare bones? What if we gave everybody a cheat code, from running to rucking to attributes to WaterCon to all of these events that people have all these questions about that they ask you all the time, and they ask me all the time, says Chris. What if we just got together and we just poured our experience into them for 2 straight days? What if we just got together and instead of just making people tired, I can make anybody tired, it's not hard. But what if we got together and we really said to each other, hey, the focus of this isn't going to be, I'm going to make you do push-ups until you're tired, and then I'm going to shame you for being tired. And then at the end, I'm going to be like, oh, you made it. I didn't want to do that. But what Chris brought to us, what Chris and his beautiful mind came up with, was what if you got together and you got to say all of those things that you guys have gotten Trent and I, and, instructed. Trent was in the AETC architecture for more than 10 years. That guy lived in AETC. He lived and breathed training. That guy is the epitome of a master instructor. And by the way, to watch him slip into that instructor role at the drop of a hat it just made my heart so happy. He did a little drop class for folks. And I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but it's just a funny story. He started giving people nicknames. He was like, hey, tall and flexible guy, your head's not in the right position. I'll be honest, I never laughed so hard in my freaking life. It was absolutely hilarious. But when Chris brought this to us, I didn't know if I was going to be here. I didn't know if Peaches was going to be able to make it, but I knew that I wanted to be involved. And I knew that it was something special. So that brings us to this last weekend. People started showing up. We were on the group chats. We were talking to people, doing the whole setup and logistics thing. Everybody was going to get together in camp out at Red Rock. Cold night for those bros, but shout out to you guys. I knew that this was something different. And when Taylor Starch came on, the madman, the mad scientist, the strongest guy under 225 pounds, bent over on the floor, absolutely getting crushed in the world, I knew that we had something. I knew that it was going to be something that we could be proud of. And it was going to be something that I'm going to be able to look back and go, that's how I wanted to engage. So let's talk about this training event. Guardian Grip, One's Ready, special guest, madman, man of the hour, Taylor Starch. We all got together here in Vegas. We found a local pool and we just started talking about basics. And it was basics all day long. It was breaking down these attributes, these 8, 9 attributes, depending on where you're looking, of what it is that we actually do and how it is that we actually assess and select candidates. We went through running form. We went through, of course, Taylor Starch couldn't get away without having at least 10 nasty hip sessions to show you that, yes, in fact, your hips are trash. We literally taught people all of their bad habits were just that. And we broke those down to the base lessons and rebuilt them up over the course of 2 days. To watch the students on the first day, I unfortunately couldn't get to the second day, to the pool day. They were well covered and people were sick of me by then. To watch the learning happen in real time with every single person there. They were engaged. They brought their notepad, their notebook and their pen. They were ready to train. They had every piece of gear. They were running from event to event. They were hungry for knowledge. They asked great questions. Every single person there was engaged and wanted to be better. And how could you not walk away from a scenario like that and not just be motivated, not just be excited, not just be proud of what this generation is and what they're going to accomplish? Because we saw it all firsthand, and we saw the output, we saw the effort, we saw how hard that these people tried, how much they cared. We had a family, a father and a son, come in from Connecticut to come to this event. That has nothing to do with us. That has everything to do with that policeman. He was a retired policeman, a canine handler, and an awesome dude. So shout out to you guys. To watch them put out as a father-son team, that's the kind of dad I want to be. That's the kind of child I want to raise. That's the reflection in this world that I want to see projected out in all of these times where things are unsure and we don't know what's going on and what's happening. We broke down their running form and we talked about efficiency. We talked about volume. We talked about how much cardio you should be doing. We talked about proper running form as it, like when you're actually running. And Taylor broke it down in a way where I was like, wow, I'm a terrible runner. And I just never knew it. I just nugged myself through it and tried to figure it out. How to pack your ruck, what the instructors are going to do. We let people understand the cadence of training events. Anybody can do push-ups. Anybody can lift a log or a boat over their head. That's really not that hard. That's a pretty easy thing. But when I watch people ask me questions about the gray areas of integrity, when I watch people ask me about the gray areas of teamwork and how is it that you balance being a good teammate, but still finding ways to succeed on your own, because this is an individually evaluated event, regardless what anyone will tell you. You have to perform on your own and you have to have the team in mind. To watch them learn through those areas, it was obvious to me that there's a need. There's a need for exactly what we do here at ONESREADY, what Chris does over at Guardian Grit, what Taylor Starch does from his own page and his own engagement zone. Y'all need the basics. Y'all need somebody to break it down to you and say, hey, listen, here's what's really going on behind the scenes. When an instructor gives you an input, we want to see an output, and we're judging how you develop it. We want to see your problem solving. We want to see your drive. We want to see your never quit attitude. That transferred into the pool the next day. Oh, by the way, we all showed up. We had a barbecue. It was good. We just broed down. I brought my puppy. It was a fantastic time. Absolutely amazing just to spend time with some of these young folks that are going to lead and carry the AFSOC flag into the future, into that next fight, whatever it is. And kudos to them for not knowing what it is and still being willing to step into the fray, because that's exactly what they're doing. They invested in themselves. They showed that they're willing to be humble, to be trainable, to be coachable, to be honest about their progression. We had people there that were on their second or third sort of event like this, and you could see the transition in their mind where they started being successful. It was a beautiful thing. After the little, campside, Peaches was on the grill. It was hilarious. He couldn't see. We had to get him a step stool. That's not a joke. The young man is very short. However, man, he's on the grill, whipping it up dad style. We were just sitting around the fire talking. Trent Irish goodbye. I got caught. I had to come back and shake everybody's hands, which makes me feel some type of way, but I got an internet personality to uphold, so don't tell anybody that. But I got to be honest, I left motivated. I left sad. My, full disclosure, my wife had to leave on a work trip. So I was, single dadding it up that next day, but I'm texting the bros. I'm asking how the pool session went, everything from the very basics. And I'm talking about, if you can't push off the wall correctly, you're not ready to do mask and snorkel. If you don't have a good streamline and you don't understand the mechanics behind an underwater, you're not ready to do 10 ups. You're not ready to do all these other things that people put so much weight on themselves and pressure on themselves to get just perfect before they leave. This whole course was about fundamentals. It was about bringing it back to basics and giving it to you in small bite-sized chunks And when you have people pull you aside and they're like, hey, you said this thing and I've been thinking about it, amazing. Amazing event. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. I think that the promo is about to go out, but we're having another one. We're going to do this again. And we're going to keep doing it until I feel like it doesn't bring us value. And then maybe we won't do them anymore. But I'll tell you what, I think I very rarely speak for other people, so I won't speak directly for Chris or Taylor or Trent or Peaches. I think we might have gotten more out of this than we did anything else that we've done in a long time. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that showed up. I want to say, if you want a part of this, we're going to do it in Orlando, Florida. That's the tentative site for right now. I think March 8 and 9 is where we're kind of looking. I'd ask you to please come be involved. Get yourself down to Central Florida, spend a little bit of time, invest in yourself, and let us give you the considerable knowledge that we have, because it's as important for us as it is for you. We want to help lead, guide, mentor. We want to do all of those things that were our favorite parts about it and involve none of our least favorite parts, right? Getting absolutely punched in the face for 10 straight hours doesn't really teach you anything other than how to take a punch. We don't want to teach you how to take a punch. We want to teach you how to throw punches, how to be mentally engaged in the training event, how to win that training event, because every training event you can win. We want to give you tips on how to get selected. And more importantly, the second that you leave one of these events, we want you to have a clear roadmap going forward. For this is what the cadre are looking for. Here's ways that I can work on it. And we want to give you all the tools to be successful. I don't want to teach you to fish. Classic. Messed that one up. Winding up for a big one, and I mess it up. Go figure. We want to teach you how to fish. We don't want to just give you a fish. We want you to have a reach back moment. We want you to have some information to chew on. We want you to look introspectively and go, wait a second. They're telling me this is what I need to be successful. Do I have it? And then we want you to go crush it. We want to see you change those things about yourself, about your training, about your nutrition, about your sleep, about your hips, about your underwaters, about every single event from the bare bones up to the most complex. We want you to be better. And that's why we did the training event. And that's why after 5 years, we finally decided, hey, I think it's time to do this in person. I think it's time to have these conversations one-on-one and not just via the internet or wherever you're watching this. I think it's valuable. And from a guy that was resistant to it, and I'll say straight up, like I was resistant to it the entire time. I am not resistant to it anymore. I see the value in it. I hope everybody that showed up did. I just wanted to throw a quick shout out to everybody. Hey, thank you for showing up. Thank you for taking your time. Thank you for sleeping on the cold ground in beautiful Red Rock, Nevada. By the way, the day y'all left, it was like 80 degrees today. It was really nice out. I bet it was really nice sleeping out there at night in this temperature as opposed to the one that you did. But just allowing us to spend some time. I think you guys gave us more than we gave you. And I'm totally okay with that. Thanks again for everybody coming out. It's a great training event. Guardian Grit, Taylor Starch, One's Ready crew. We're going to see you in Florida. I hope to see you there. And I hope that we can work together to get you where you want to be. Leadership is walking to a door and opening it. Being a mentor is getting a person through a door that you could have never gotten through by yourself and being proud of them when they do. We want to be your mentor. We want to be that person that is, no kidding, in your corner helping you succeed at this thing. I just ask you to give us the opportunity. That's it for me. Y'all have a good one. It was a pleasure seeing everybody. Go over to onesready.com. Check us out. We got a link tree. You can check it on all the platforms. We've got everything you need to include the brand new flow code for the 19 Zulu guys. That's anybody trying to be a special tactics officer, whether it's Crow, TAC PO, or STO. You'll have everything you need there, from contact to workout plans. Anything you need, it's on that page. Go check it out. Appreciate y'all. See ya.